It's Avery here. Welcome back to my channel. As you may know, I'm a content creator by day, but by nighttime, I am a ghostbuster. So today's video, we are going to be checking out the 3 most haunted sites in Vancouver, starting with Riverview Mental Hospital. All of these sites are filled with paranormal activity, some crazy stories that have happened, and I'm going to take you down all of those adventures today. Well, let's check out the first location. Now imagine if you were a patient getting admitted to this hospital and this was your entrance, how would you feel? I don't think I have to be the first one to say this place looks a little bit creepy. This has housed some of the most haunted patients. It started out as a mental hospital, originally called the Hospital of the Mind in 1913 when it opened up. This housed all different types of people, including World War I veterans who had shell shock, PTSD, to juvenile delinquents, all sorts of people, and of course those with some very different mental disorders. And later on in 1930, it opened up to a women's clinic. It started out only being able to have 900 patients, but later on down the road, it became home to 4,500 different patients. Some of the patients here were relocated because there was other hospitals that opened up throughout the province. Some of them, unfortunately, were unrelocatable and were stuck here at Riverview. And they started to decide to close the hospital. So it ended up being that hundreds of patients were stuck here after closing, left to fend for themselves, and there was no more nurses or doctors left. So you can imagine that's probably why some of the windows have, got some holes punched into them, or why some of them are boarded up. As the economy started to change and they developed around the neighborhood, neighbors around here have heard some crazy screams at night, cackling, hearing the boards of the windows being boomed on, and there's nobody inside. The police have checked so many times and there's not a soul left inside, so it's pretty scary that people who are just living right around here are hearing these spooky sounds at night. Talk about paranormal activity. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was gonna make a telephone call in here, I think I'd be completely scared and I would just never call my loved ones ever again. So we're here at the Women's Center where so many women were left behind after the hospital closed. But it's getting dark and I've heard some crazy sounds. So let's get on our night vision goggles and start looking for ghosts. We're here at the really scary cemetery where these horrible victims unfortunately did not make it and survive the institution. Some of the surviving patients have sued the institution for the horrible practices that they incurred, including hydrotherapy, electric shock therapy, and insulin-induced comas. It's just terrible. Now, Riverview is known for experimenting on patients in the most horrible ways possible. Those victim to the experimentation now lay in the Riverview Cemetery. I don't think I'm a very good ghostbuster because I can't take any more seconds in this really haunted institution. It's giving me the creeps, so let's check out the next location. I am a professional ghostbuster after all, but I think walking down Elm Street is just a nightmare waiting to happen. Can we go home now? Now we're at the Port Moody Railway, which is another one of the most haunted sites here in Vancouver. This train right here was housed by a ghost named Peter, and they've had multiple ghost hunters check out the paranormal activity inside of the train by hearing strange voices and for some reason flashlights going on and off like crazy. This place is definitely one of the most paranormal sites in the city. Inside the train station is home to hundreds of items which were inside of the haunted train itself, including a bell that was a part of a big crash which caused 5 of the train workers to, become unalive. So if that isn't creepy and filled with paranormal activity, I don't know what is. I feel like I can just hear the laughs and hear Peter calling my name while I'm here. So I think we should head to our last site and we're gonna check out Lighthouse Park in West Vancouver. The last haunted site for this video today is Lighthouse Park here in West Vancouver. This place is so creepy and it's seen some very crazy paranormal activity. I'm not sure if you've seen Shutter Island, but if you have, you know that lighthouses are something you don't want to mess with. Anyways, let's go check out all of the craziest things that have happened here at Lighthouse Park. Now, this rusty old lighthouse has been reconverted so it can be used for modern day boats, which is of course very helpful, but it has a very dark history. During the war, prisoners were held captive here, just held amongst the shores where they had to swim their way out. I mean, it's pretty creepy, right? And of course, you can't access the lighthouse from the public, but that's because it's haunted inside. People who have dared to trespass and get in have heard the screams of those who were held there until the last moments up till their death. Another really creepy part about Lighthouse Park are these war bunkers. You see, the lighthouse was used in the war to prevent people from getting into BC, and these bunkers were filled with soldiers from World War II. But the creepy thing is that the soldiers were never found after the war. No one knows if they were stolen by pirates or if they died in the bunkers, but now people who have tried to trespass into the bunkers have found the perfectly made beds from the soldiers. Some tourists who come by Lighthouse Park have heard sounds of crazy laughing, which they believe was from the soldiers that were in the bunkers. Also, the sounds of gunshots too. I mean, obviously there's none of that happening here, but we just believe that those were the sounds that were heard in the last seconds before death for the soldiers that lived here. One thing I've realized is it might be time for me to retire from ghost busting. This place creeps me out way too much, especially Riverview Mental Hospital. That was so scary. So maybe I should stick to just being a content creator by day and not be a ghost buster at night. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. These were the 3 most haunted places to check out in Vancouver, and it was so much fun doing this with you. Make sure you check out my channel for more videos like this. Well, happy Halloween and enjoy the rest of the spooky season. Bye!